Hi everybody, today we'll be solving this very good set of ratios, and this set involves ratios. And once you're able to identify that this set belongs to ratios, you can solve this set very easily. Let's understand the question. A rectangle is divided into 20 rectangles, and out of 20 rectangles, areas of some triangles are given. So I'm just trying to redraw the structure again so that it becomes easy for me to explain. So these are the things that are given. So I'm pointing out this is a bigger rectangle I have. Look at the pointer. This is the bigger rectangle I have, and each rectangle, the entire rectangle, is split into 20 more small rectangles like this one, and this and that. Each smaller rectangle has certain area, and that is like this one has an area of 2, this one has an area of 1, this one has an area of 4, this one has an area of 3, 5, 7, 3 and 6. And what else can we do? See, before we start solving this question, let's understand a very basic stuff. This is the length part of a rectangle, and this is a breadth part of a rectangle. But as each and every rectangle is having different area, what happens is that they'll have different lengths and different breadths. So what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to name this part as P, this one as Q, this one as R, and this one as S. So this P is the width of this section, and Q is the width of this section, R is the width of this section, and S is the width of this section. Similarly, let's try to name the length structures as X, Y, W, Z, and U. This is how we can start our solving. And then let me change my color. So what is 2? 2 is the area of the rectangle which has the length X and breadth as P. Therefore, X into P is equal to 2, isn't it? This is one information I have. And what else do I have? This one has a length of Z and this one has a breadth of P. So this would be Z into P. Z into P is 1. And let's go to second row. This has a length of Y and breadth of Q, so which is Y into Q is equal to 4. And what else do I have? I do not have any values in the second row given to me, so I'll just go to the third row, which has 3, and this value has a length of X and a breadth of R. So X into R is equal to 3, and then R into W. So this is W into R. So W into R is equal to 5. Next, let me go into the fourth row as well. This has a length of X. X into S is 7. And this part, the region which has area 3 has an area of Y into S, which is equal to 3, and U into S as 6. So this is the information I have. Okay, hope you're clear until this, right? Now let me go further. I'm just changing my color back to this, and see, we just have to find out the ratios of P is to Q is to R is to S, and we'll also find the ratio of X is to Y is to W is to Z is to U. The reason why I'm finding these ratios is like we'll be able to find out the area of each rectangle using these ratios. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to find this P is to Q is to R is to S. How can I do that? See, I have this exp, this xp is there, and I need to find the ratio of P is to Q is to R is to S. If I have to find the ratio with P, I need to find one more value which has x in it, so that x will get cancelled and I'll have a ratio with P. So xp is equal to 2. What is the other value I have with me? Xp is equal to 2 and xr is equal to 3. So this by this. Sorry. Okay. So xp is equal to 3 and xr is equal to 3. So xp by xr is equal to 2 by 3, which means P by R is equal to 2 by 3, isn't it? Similarly, I'll be finding the values of other stuff as well. xp is equal to 2, xr is equal to 3. So I'm done with one ratio. Do you have any other thing which involves x? xp is equal to 2, nothing is there. So zp is equal to 1. I just want as one more z in the value so that z will be cancelled. Zp is equal to 1. I do not have anything here, so leave it. Xp, and then I have xp is equal to 2 and xs is equal to 7. See, this is one more value which I can use it. Xp is equal to 2, xs is 7. When I take this ratio by this, what happens is that x gets cancelled and p by s would be 2 by 7. P by s would be 2 by 7. Clear? Next, what else do I have? X, that's it. Now let me go into x. Zp is equal to 1. If zp is equal to 1, if I have to return p, I need one more value where z is present, so that z gets cancelled. I'll have a ratio with p or q or r and s. Zp, I do not have any z, so let me leave this. Yq is equal to 4. Yq is equal to 4. I need to retain either p or q or s. So yq, I need to retain q, so that I need to take one value which is having y. So this yq is equal to 4 and this ys is equal to 3. By taking these ratios, q by s would be 4 by 3. Right? And then what else do I have? I cannot take one more value which is having y. This is the only value which I have, and let me go into xr. I'm trying to retain r. So if I want to retain r, what is the thing which is needed? xr, I need to get one more value where x is present. So xr, xs. So when I take the ratio of this and this, x gets cancelled and r by s is 3 by 7. Hope it is clear until here, right? So now using these ratios where we have p, q, r and s, can't we find out the ratios of p is to q is to r is to s? We can, right? So let's solve that. See, using these two ratios, we'll be getting p is to r is to s as 2 is to 3 is to 7, isn't it? Right? So this value is done and this value is done. Now we are left with q. How can I solve that? It's simple. We have q by s as 4 by 3, right? Now what is s by q? S by q is 3 by 4. I need s to be 7, right? I need s to be 7. So I'm just multiplying this value into 7, so that this value would be 7 by 28 by 3. Because I'm just targeting s to be 7, so I'm just retaining 7 and just bringing this to denominator, so that this will become 28 by 3. So what is the value of q now? It is 28 by 3. but I want everything to be an integer so that the ratios would be simpler for me. So let's multiply this 3 into other values. So it would become 6, 9, 21 and 28. So these are the values that I have, right? This is P, this is R, this is yes, and this is Q, right? So what is P? P came out to be 6. What is Q? Q came out to be 28, and R came out to be 29, and yes is 21. This is the information that I got from these values. Okay, so see, I am being very slow so that you can understand. Hope it is clear for everybody. Now we got these values. Now our intention or target is to find, let me change the color for this. I'm changing it to red. Okay, so now our target is to find the ratio of x is to y is to w is to z is to u. And now if you have to find this ratio, we need to target those values from these so that we can eliminate the values of p, q, r and s. So how do we do that? We have xp, so we need to find other value where p is involved so that I can cancel them and I'll have a ratio between x and z. So this is the first value I have. And what is the other value which is involving p? This one, right? So pp gets cancelled. So dx by z is equal to 2 by 1. This is our first ratio in the part of this one. Now xp, where do you have, like, do I have anything where p is involved? This is the only one which is involving p. Yes, so that is done. Now zp is equal to 1. If p is equal to 1, so I need to check for one more value where p is involved so that I can cancel it. So do I have any other p? I do not have any other value, so let's leave that. Yq, I need to retain y, so I need to check for other value where q is involved, so that is also not there. So this is yq, I do not have any other values involving q. Xr, I need to retain x, so I need to check the value where r is involved so that I can cancel r. So if I take these two values, this one and this one, I can cancel out r and I'll get a ratio of x by w to be 3 by 5, isn't it? And then I need to retain x, so I need to cancel out r. So do you have one more r with me? I do not have one more r with me, so I can keep it like that. Okay, then let's proceed further. We have wr, I need to retain w. I do not have any other value where r is involved, so I'm leaving that aside. Now I'm going for xs. Xs is equal to 7 and I need to retain x, and I have yes with me. I have to eliminate yes. I need to look for another value which has yes in it. So I got something which is having yes in it. So this by this, which is xs by ys, which will give you x by y as 7 by 3. This is one value, and if I take xs, I have one more value which is having s in it, so therefore x by u is 7 by 6. Hope you are clear with this, right? This information is pretty clear with us, and these are the values I have with me. Now I have x, z, w, u, x, z, w, u and y. All the values are there in this. I just have to manipulate them so that I can get the ratio of x is to y is to w is to z is to u, right? So if x is 7, y is 3, x is 7, u is 6. So these are the four values. I can directly write a ratio with this. X is to y is to u. If x is 7, y is 3. If x is 7, u is 6, right? So this value is done and this value is done. Now we have x is to z. x is to z is 2 is to 1, right? And this one I need x to be 7, but it's difficult for me to bring 7 here, so I'll just multiply into 2 on both the sides. So I'll get, into 7, so I'll get 14 is to 7, right? So if x is 14 here, this ratio should also be 14, right? So I'm just making it into 2, so this would become 14, this would become 6, and this would become 12, right? And now I can add z to this, because when x is 14, z would be 7, right? So now we have values to be x, y, u and z as 14, 6, 12 and 7. What else we are left with? We are left with w. So w can be calculated using the ratio of x by w is equal to 3 by 5. But x value is 14, so I'm multiplying with 14. So, and then I do not want 3 in it, so I'm bringing it to the denominator. So it is 14 by 5 into 14 by 3, right? This is like 14 by 14 5 how much? It is 70 by 3, right? So if x is 14, y would be, w would be 70 by 3. So I can add one more ratio, which is 70 by 3. And now this final ratio would be 3 into 14 is 42, 6 3 is 18, 12 3 is 36, 7 3 is 21, and this is 70. This is x, this is y, this is u, this is z, and this is w. These are the ratios for x, y, u, z and w. Let's mark these values here. What is x? X is 42. And what is y? Y is 18. And what is u? U is 36. And where is u here? U is 36 here. And z is 21 here. So z is 21 here. And w is 70. So this is the information I have with me, right? I'm trying to erase everything so that we can solve the questions using these values. Now let's solve the questions by using the values that we have obtained using ratios. So if you can see this is a value 2, right? So for example, I'm just trying to explain what these ratios tells us. This 2 can be written as P into L, where P is 6 and L is 42. Not exactly 6, it is 6k into 42p, because it's a ratio. We should not be using it like this. So it's 6k into 42p. Right? So what does this mean? If 2 is equal to 6k into 42p, then what is kp? Kp would be 2 by 6 into 42, right? And what is kp? It is 2 21s, so it is 6 1s are 6 and 6 2s are 12. So kp is 1 by 126, right? Kp is 1 by 126. This value or this fraction remains same throughout the entire rectangle. Or let me check this 7 as well. If this is 7, so what is 7? 7 is 42p into 21k, right? So what is kp now? Kp would be 7 by 42 into 21, right? So it is 7 by 6 into 21. This would again become 126. So if somebody is asking what is the value of this value of a rectangle part, we can directly use the value of kp, right? Kp is 1 by 126, and this is the funda of ratios which helped us to calculate kp, right? Now we'll find out area for something. Let's go into question number 43, right? Let me change the color. Yeah, question number 43. They're asking about the area of the rectangle G. What is the area of rectangle G? Area of rectangle is 28 into u. 28 into u, which is 36. Which is equal to q into u. What is q? Which is 28k. What is u? U is 36p, right? So 28 into 36 into kp, right? So 28 into 36 into 1 by 126. This is 7 4s are 28. This is 7 1s are 7. I'll be left out with 5, like 7 8s are 56. 8 into 2s are 36. So value of G is 8. It means the rectangle's area is 8 units. So the area of this is 8 units. Hope it is clear to everybody. Okay, let me erase this. Now what is the next question? They're asking to find out the area of D plus E minus J, isn't it? What is D? D is, where is D? This one, 42 into this one, 42 into 28. 42 into 20. I'm leaving that factor k into p, and I'll write it overall. I'll let you know. And what is E? E is 70 into 28. 70 into 28 and minus J. This is J. What is J? 9 into 36. 9 into 36. But I should not forget that factor, which is 126, which is 1 by 126, right? So I'm taking 28 common here. So I'll be left out with 2, 112 minus 9 into 36 by 126, right? Now I'm splitting out for easy calculation. So this is 126 minus 9 into 36 by 126. This is 7 4 is 28 and 753 is 756, right? 7 5 is 1 minute. Sorry. And then this is 7 4 is 28. 7 1s are 7, and we have 5 7 8s are 56. Right now, I'm left out with 2 9s are 18. 256, and now this one is 6 6 are 36, 6 2s are 6 1s are, and 3 2s are 3 7s are. So finally this would become 4 into 56 by 9 minus 18 by 7. Hope it is clear to everybody, right? So this would be 63 1568 minus 112, and this would become 1406 by 63. So the second question would be 1406 by 63. So other two questions, 45th question, 46th question, can be solved using the same logic. Hope it helps. I went very slowly so that everybody can understand.